If you have created something, you start thinking you are a creative person. But are you? Let's discover. To live, the most important thing is how we breathe. We inhale, we exhale. This constant process of inhaling and exhaling keeps us alive. You cannot just keep inhaling and not exhaling, and also you can't keep exhaling and not inhaling. So you have to take it in and you have to take it out. Similarly, creativity is only about learning and de-learning. Whatever you learn, you have to de-learn it. Whatever you take in, you have to throw it out. On a constant level, you have to keep deleting every single thing you have learned and then learn new things. That is what creativity is all about. People who think, yeah, I've mastered the skill of painting or singing or writing, making movies. There are lots of people who write one book which becomes successful. They keep repeating the same formula again and again. People who make one kind of film and keep repeating it again and again. And they are called creative people. That is the biggest scam we have imposed on the world. And that's how the younger people learn. That you create one successful formula, create one app, do a startup. It becomes successful and you just are bound to keep repeating it. You become slave of the same formula. And that is like inhaling something and not exhaling, or exhaling and not inhaling. You have to get into this constant cycle of inhaling and exhaling of creativity. It's like on your computer. The files you don't need, you delete them, and sometimes you reformat it. In this case, you have to keep reformatting every single time after creation. Once you create something, you have to get into the process of destruction. Without constant cycle of creation and destruction, you cannot live creativity. Yes, you can be called for creative symposiums, creative seminars. People will write in your bio that you were a creative person. In your obituary, they will write you were a creative person, but actually it's not creative living. And that's why when I learned who am I immediately took the blackboard of my own psyche and deleted every single trait of mine. On a constant basis, the minute I think I have learned something, I try to renovate myself and I delete everything. I just de-learn everything and learn new things. And this whole process of learning cannot come from books. It cannot come from attending some tutorials. It has to come from your own experience. Like breathing is your own personal experience. The second thing is, most of the people spend their lives breathing half. They partly breathe. They don't breathe like full breath and full exhalation. Your body needs full inhaling and full exhalation, and that's why yogis emphasize so much on the art of breathing. And that's why the whole science of pranayama is there. And it is proven beyond doubt that when you breathe full and you exhale full, you become healthy, you live longer. Similarly, in creativity, most of the people are just learning half, and then they also de-learn half. But they keep their core prejudices, their core beliefs, their core biases, their core habits intact. They never leave them. And therefore, every time they learn something is always prejudiced or oriented towards one belief. And slowly, you become like an echo chamber where only those plants nurture, that kind of learning nurture, which basically conforms to their own biased belief system. That's why I generally tell all the young people, it is very important to keep changing your professions. Keep changing professions, learn new things. You are a teacher, then you become a lawyer, then you become an artist, then you become an author, then you become a social scientist. Keep doing it, it's not impossible. If you can learn it in school and college, why can't you learn in the university of life? And that's what I have tried to do, and I am talking purely from experience. I started as a science student who wanted to be an IS officer. Then I became an economist for some time. Then I became an urban planner for a few years. Then I became an advertising professional. Then I became an entrepreneur. Then I became a television ad filmmaker. Then I became a ad filmmaker. Then I became a filmmaker of commercial movies. Then I became a professor in B schools. Then I became a wanderer, a hippie, bohemian who had no place. I wandered in Himalayas and all over the world and India for many years. Then I became an experimental indie filmmaker. Then I became an author. Then I became a public speaker. And then I became a researcher. And now I am becoming a creative teacher. I am trying to mentor and teach people what it means to be creative, how you can use your life to your best advantage, best learning. So life, and I don't know where I am going to be tomorrow. Ideologically also, I have always shifted. I was a rebel. I became a Naxal. Then I became a capitalist. Then I became a greedy, typical topibaj. Then I became a creative entrepreneur. And then I became a leftist, a far leftist in Bollywood. And then from there I shifted and I became a Hindu, a typically Hindu philosophical ideator. And now I am in no zone. I have no boundaries. I am exploring myself and figuring out where I have to go. So I am right now in a no ideological zone. I don't know where life is going to take me. I have always tried to learn new things. And why I'm telling you about myself is because when you learn about other people, and I know hundreds and thousands of people who live their life like that, there is nothing wrong in experimenting and learning new things. Create yourself, destroy yourself. Create your social circles, destroy them. Create your friend circles, destroy them. Destroy it doesn't mean that you leave everything. Destruction means that you stop conforming to it and you start afresh. If there are people who are like you, who are also all the times reformatting their computer, they will come with you. And the third and the last thing, we very often delete, de-learn, but we never clean our dustbin. And so what happens is dustbin starts overflowing, the bin in your computer. It starts overflowing, and very often we think we are learning new things, but no. Whatever, all the files which you put in your dustbin and they're overflowing, the same thing starts becoming your knowledge again and again. Like we write so many notes, we go back to refer to them. We save so many things and we go back to refer to them, and we think we are trying to do new things. No, those notes are gone. The time is gone. Today is a new day. It's a fresh day. You have to learn absolutely new things because the universe has become new. The mother nature has become new. Earth has moved to a new place. Sun has radiated new energy. There's a new oxygen, new fresh air. So become like that. My only message to you is, if you are not destroying yourself on a regular basis, you are not living. Have a nice day.